takes all of us to deliver the perfect trip.
I'm a sports guy, right? Grew up playing sports, and John Wooden was probably the greatest coach of any sport of all time, and he was very thoughtful about how he did it. His line was, "It takes 10 hands to make a basket," and that's what it's. I have something to do with every trip that's delivered, if you think about it. But I'm not. If the maintenance guys don't do their job, if the scheduling people don't do their job, the trainers, the drivers, it really does take everybody. And if anywhere in that process you're struggling, it manifests itself in the service at the end of the day. This started as a motor coach company and tours, and they did tours of Easton, and real kind of it was a real startup. For years, that's what the business was. It went from 2 or 3 buses to 10 to, I think when he sold the company in 1997, it's probably 20 motor coaches, and he had a paratransit contract in Easton, and Atlanta expanded into Carbon County. So I came in, I was, had just kind of been part of a sale of a business. I just said, look, I'll put my stake in the ground and try and develop this Easton thing. But at the time it was, I don't know, 60 or 70 vehicles, maybe 80 vehicles, 8 or 9 million of revenue, and like almost nothing earning wise, maybe $500,000. But it took us a while. We had to get established, and we really made our mark. New Jersey Transit, we probably did 5 contracts and lost them all. But every time we did it, Mark Glatz, who's in charge of development, we'd go and sit with them, and they tell us what we did wrong. And the first ones were brutal. Like, these people were brutally honest. So that's 2002. We start to build kind of contract by contract, and it's slow in the beginning. And I thought that people just hand us business. It just didn't happen that way. It's hard to be patient when everybody wants to make just get bigger and faster. But part of this is like poker, right? You're playing poker, and we slow play things. We make sure we know what we're doing before we take the next step. So we don't push all of our chips in the first turn. We let things develop. And so we expanded we used to run half of Lehigh Valley, then we ran the whole thing. And once we did that, it was 120 vehicles. It was a sizable contract. It really opened doors for us. So we started kind of getting, the contracts just kept coming our way. We get a SEPTA contract. You get New Jersey Transit, and all of a sudden people are like, and New Jersey Transit said, these guys are doing a great job. And we really were. It was on-time percentage, like almost too high. The company becomes like you are if you do it right. And so Easton Coach got a lot of Joe Scott in it, and Dave Batchelor and Mark Glatz and Heather Petty, and because we have a certain way and it comes on how we treat people. You don't get the benefit of the doubt. You have to build the trust. And so it's how you pay people, how you treat them is all part of that, building that trust. And how this business is. You get people who do it for the love of it. I think the vast majority have an emotional attachment to it. And those are the people you want. It's a hard business. We picked a hard business. And it's hard not to get wrapped up in what went wrong today. And that's what you want to be. You want to be the best in a business that's imperfect. My job is to push the horizon back, right? I'm supposed to make sure this company's around 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now. And so it's building on things and making sure whatever we do well. I think any of the stuff that Judith talks about, it's all real. It's all sincere. And I'm sure of it. There's no doubt in my mind that this is what we are. And it's built to last forever. I love the fact she talks about 10-year plans. 10 years look, I'm almost 60. 10 years is not as long as I thought it was when I was 11. That's the way you got to think. You can't think about next month's earnings. It's important, but it's not the be all and the end all. That's not how great businesses are built. So she's thinking about strategy, and she's not wavering. And I've known her for many years, and I know that what she says she means. You go to any of our competitors, they'd say that people are the most important thing. But I know when Judith says it, she means it, and I can feel it in every person I met.